Ladies and gentlemen, one of the 10 reasons why I really like the Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna is what is called being brave. Today in Kisumu, after UDA hijacked the burial of Kisumu Senator Tom Oduor, Edwin Sifuna, one man, has crushed the whole Kenya Kwanza brigade, and immediately Sifuna finished talking, people walked out and no one wanted to listen to other leaders there. That speech from Kisumu was very powerful, and I want you to listen to Sifuna, because after watching this, I will come back and analyze the reason why those who are saying Nyanza is gone, the Luo rebels, they will find it rough. Because what Sifuna made, there is something that he's saying there that the public must understand.
Next celebrations will be in Kwale. We'll do exactly what we did in Bungoma in Kwale. Tukitoka Kwale, tutaenda Muranga. Tukitoka Muranga, tutaenda Homa Bay. Na tutazunguka hivyo, so that we bring this country together, that every part of this country must experience development like all the other parts that might appear that have been advantaged in terms of development. And by the time we have this national conversation, because we are national leaders and you are national leaders, you're not just elected to represent the people of Nairobi. You are elected to legislate and represent on issues that touch on devolved government, which are 47 in number. And what I always tell our people is that it is not a mistake that you are the senator for Nairobi. Just like it's not a mistake that Eddie is the senator for Migori. And it's also not a mistake that His Excellency President Ruto is the President of the Republic of Kenya. We have a responsibility to the people who elected us, and even those who did not vote for us, to give them service and to work for them. And because we still have another 3 years to go to the next election, my plea to the people of Kisumu, the people of Nyakach and Kenyans is we must give those who have been elected the chance to deliver on what they promised. And when it comes to the next election, we will make an assessment, and the people will make that assessment. Those who have served them will have another opportunity to continue to do so. Those who have failed to serve them will be shown the door. And none of the leaders or nobody in this country should be scared to associate or do what in their minds is the right thing to do.
What do you interpret from that video? Remember, it was the burial of Tom Oduor's mother, and Tom Oduor was the first person to attack the Sifuna. He spoke before and already turned that to be a political theater. And he started by attacking Sifuna. All that did not go unnoticed. And the Luo Nyanza is becoming more hot and hotter. Even the day before that, the MDG party leader, David Ochieng, was also in Ugenya. And when he mentioned something about UDA administration, he was also attacking UDA, and he was saying that the appointments that have been done, William Ruto just appointed crooks in offices, and that is why Kenya Kwanza is struggling. There is something that you'll realize there. Edwin Sifuna is talking brave about the finance bill. The finance bill is one of the documents that you have to be very truthful about. And I think what he's doing, he is telling the public about the breakdown. The MPs have been going out to say that what is there is about what has been agreed, and it's about construction of roads that will be done by Kenya Kwanza, and Kenyans need to come to pay taxes for roads. And that was said by Ochanda. In Luo Nyanza, there were projects that were started by former President Uhuru Kenyatta. And I think the time that Nyanza really benefited was during Uhuru too. Quite a number of projects were done there. And even when roads were being done, the taxes were being collected. And there is something that Kenya Kwanza will struggle to do. William Ruto handlers are trying to explain that the reason why they are taxing more is because they want to do roads. They want to do that. They want to do that. But remember, former President Uhuru Kenyatta did roads and borrowed, yes, and did roads, 10,000 kilometers by the time he was leaving. And by that time, we didn't see that heavy taxation. So there must be something for President Ruto team to defend themselves. They must find a legitimate reason to explain why they are taxing. And it will be difficult to explain taxation. And I want to explain why that will not be easy. It will not be easy to explain taxation. 60% of what is taxed, the part between the tax, between that money leaving exchequer to service delivery, there is a monster called what is in it for me. People cannot do projects without a portion. Before someone starts a project, someone is asking, what is in it for me? So number one, I like the fact that Sifuna is breaking down the figures. And he's telling the public what Kenya Kwanza doesn't want the public to know. There is absolutely no reason that the residence of the deputy president was constructed using 400 million and then it is to be renovated using 600 million. That is what we call budgeted corruption. And in that sense, really, even if it has taken time, the building cannot be renovated using more money compared to what was used even to construct it. And that is what I was talking about, the monster called what is in it for me, or what are you going to give me? Number two, Ojenda has been told, and Sifuna is telling Ojenda, that UDA is asking Ojenda to take the UDA ticket for Kisumu gubernatorial race. I think some people just underrate politics. And there's some things, they don't just work that way. Ojenda served as a senator using ODM party. And UDA is asking him to jump ship and join UDA so that he can use the UDA ticket for Nairobi UDA seat. That's a trap. Of course, it's a trap that you vie with a very clear mind that if you vie for Kisumu UDA governor seat, you will not get it. But someone will promise you somewhere that probably will be given a role or something. Now, there is something that Luo Nyanza politicians must be careful about when it comes to 2027 general election. And this is about succession politics. The 2027 elections is part of a destroyer card for many politicians. In 2032, there is a transition. If Ruto gets second term or not, in 2032, there is a transition. And any other formidable candidate must be careful that you are not destroyed in 2027. So it's clear, if that is Ojenda's home, that is Nyakach in Kisumu, and people have gone to attend the burial, and immediately Sifuna finished talking, people walked out and they went, and no one remained there. So I think the politicians must also understand that you cannot underestimate regional politics. And from what is going on there, it's still an ODM zone. You cannot rub off from it. The other third observation I'm making is the Luo Nyanza rebels must understand clearly, and let me just explain this. What the Luo Nyanza rebels are supposed to do is they want to try to defend Kenya Kwanza by saying, we want to pay taxation, they want to support finance bill, this and that. I had listened to David Ochieng appearing in some Citizen interview, and Citizen Ochieng said he was complaining that most community seats have gone to UDA, and the reason why they've gone to UDA is because they crossed over. And my former MP, my MP used to stay in that area, so he was my MP then. That is Mark Mwenje, was telling him that because they crossed over to UDA, they denied Azimio majority, and that's why Azimio could not even produce speaker and could not win the chairman of those committees. So, and he said that the reason why he joined UDA is because he didn't want Raila to benefit from him, from his vote. Now, that school of politics is what is going to affect even that region. When the fuel maintenance levy was used for some road construction, there was no single road in Nyanza that was earmarked for innovation. And most of us raised the question, we're asking, what exactly is in it for us? So ladies and gentlemen, I want to believe that there are some good lessons that politicians from Nyanza must understand. The people are not fools. The people are also waiting for the results. If you promise that you are going to change the politics of the region, or you're going to do something, the public is looking at you and are waiting for what you're going to do. So the presentation by Sifuna on my end is what the public needs to understand. And I think the government officials and the intelligence that are there, they must understand that the public is very angry with the finance bill. And even if it's going to pass by that and people are restless and people are tireless and they cannot fight for it, it's very clear that you cannot make your way. And just understand, that is Sifuna. Sifuna is just the Secretary General of the party who does not speak the Luo. Sifuna comes from Bungoma. And he was the politician that was representing Raila Odinga there. And he made that speech and things blew out of people's mind and people walked out. So you can still see that the only way still to Nyanza is through the ODM. We are unapologetic about this, and this is looking at what you do on the ground. That is not my opinion. That is not my position. That is what exactly you can see. And I think this is the best way. If you feel, instead of heckling, instead of heckling UDA, heckling agenda, no. If you feel I have listened to what I want to hear, and the rest of what I want to hear is bad, then you just walk out. What has happened in Nyakach? The walkout from the UDA politicians in Nyakach is what the country needs just to discipline the leaders. Thank you.